Welcome back to the studio. I'm Eric C. Jackson. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about social media platforms and why Pinterest seems to be by far the best that works for my studio gallery. I have been busy, ultra busy lately, and I haven't had as much time to post on social media. So my channel probably hasn't seen a new post in a few weeks. Some of them, maybe up to a month. And that's the problem, is that if I do get into, a few weeks where I just don't post on my social media platforms, then they start to lose their momentum in terms of getting viewers or visitors to those profiles. The thing that makes Pinterest different is that it works the complete opposite. When I initially post something on Pinterest, it gets zero attention, maybe a few visitors, but normally it's zero attention. You usually have to wait for a few days until you start getting, until the viewership starts to go up and you start getting engagement. At first, this used to annoy me, but now, and I'll show you why in a bit, it's like the best thing ever for my schedule and how much or how little I tend to post. Okay, so we are going to start with, this is my TikTok, and I have some pinned post on here, but I haven't posted in a long time, like a really long time, because TikTok isn't really good for the format I like to post on other channels. And so I end up having to specifically make something just for TikTok, and that tends to be annoying to me. If I just post what I have, yes, I can do that, but since the format would be incorrect, it bothers me. So yeah, I really have to be more specific to the ratio that I use with this one, which means that I haven't posted since February 27th. So this is almost a month ago that I've actually posted on here, which is bad. And it's not that the viewership is bad, the numbers are okay, especially compared to Instagram, something like that. But I might have to change my mind on changing the formatting just for TikTok, because that's turned into a little bit of a roadblock in terms of how much I post on here. So there's that. I'm on Instagram quite a bit, even though I don't post nearly as much on here anymore. I usually check quite a few things on here, but in terms of posting, like these two are pinned to my profile. This one I posted on March 16th, which is 10 days ago. Yeah, it's probably over a week now. So it's got one like. As far as views, it's a reel, so it's got nine views on this one. Not anything crazy. So I think in order for me to be more successful on Instagram, I'm gonna have to post different types of content. Of course, it'll have to do with the studio, but I think I'm going to have to present my work live instead of just posting a picture or like a short reel clip of my work. I think I'm going to have to be on camera myself and have actual print papers and samples of my work to show. And I think that's going to raise engagement quite a bit more. So I think Instagram is, has potential, but not for just still shots the way that I'm posting them. So I have to improve in that way. The next one I've got is LinkedIn business. This is the business profile that I have on LinkedIn. It's okay. I do know that if I post more on here, I would have more followers. But like I said, I haven't been posting very much at all. So this post is from 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. So I have to get back into posting more consistently. And before that, this post was 2 months ago. But yeah, even though the numbers are low, I do feel like I would get more followers if I posted on here more often, even just with the still images. But obviously, if I had sample prints, that would also do very well on here. It's just I would have to post more. In contrast, I think if I posted still shots or still images on Instagram more, I don't think that would do anything for engagement, because like for improving engagement, because I've tried that before and it just, it just doesn't work very well. This is Google, my Google profile for the business. Now, a lot of you may not look at this as a social media platform, but you do have your updates that you can post here. And again, for this one, the last time I posted an update was on February 27th. I'm not crazy about the ratio here. It's just cropped very, very weirdly. It's weird. So, yeah, I'm not crazy about this one. This one is another one where it's like you have to specifically format your post so it can fit this box that it's in. Otherwise, you have these black borders, these thick black borders on the side, and it doesn't look good. On the plus side, you do have the links down here that they can click on to, and it takes people directly to your store, your shop. So there's that. But yeah, presentation is a little, and then on the plus side, the verification blue check mark is there. That's not something you pay for. You actually have to register your business with Google, and they give that to you. So that doesn't hurt. Probably my least favorite platform is Facebook at this point, because I barely visit this particular profile, and I've had a hard time, as you can see, signing in or staying signed in. So it's just annoying to me at this point. Engagement is not really there. And I think like Instagram, I would have to post a different, type of content. I would have to post like me showing you guys print samples live in order for me to get more engagement possibly. But I'm not as familiar with Facebook in terms of what works with engagement. The only thing I've noticed is that you have to use paid promotion to really gain traction, and you have to do that for a while. And I've heard that you have to pay more these days to get the same amount of attention that you used to. It's just costing you more money to get the same amount of attention or the same amount of engagement that you used to get maybe a couple of years ago. So yeah, I'm not excited about Facebook, but it's here. The next profile or social media platform is X. Um, this one is pinned. It's fine. I I canceled my verified status because I just didn't want to pay for the blue check mark anymore. Especially for the lack of engagement that I was getting already. It didn't really boost my engagement as nearly as much as I thought it would by getting that blue check mark. And then the other thing I noticed is that on X, is a lot of politics going on this platform, either politics or gossip, just cultural stuff. And I'm not interested in any of that, right? So I wanted something that's more where the platform is more focused on the business side of it, like more closely to LinkedIn business. But in terms of engagement, if I post more, I'll probably get more engagement here and there, but it's not something that I would like really depend on. Um, so yeah, but it's here. Now, as far as professionals, they are on the platform, but again, interacting with the platform is not great because of how, like, especially with the hashtags that are trending. I just think too often it's dealing with politics or gossip. So I just yeah, I don't get on the platform that much. This is Threads. I finally did open this, but I have not really done too much on it. I can't say anything good or bad about it. To me, it's okay. Um, it's just another X platform, but it's everything's bright instead of black. It's white. I mean, that's as much as I can say about it. It took a little while for the algorithm to find out like what type of posts I didn't want to see, because that first week or so was just terrible in terms of just garbage content. That some of it, like too much of it, I didn't find appropriate. So I was having that same problem with X as well. So I don't know what's going on in the background with how the algorithms work, but yeah, it's just too much content on these social media platforms that is just not good um, for people, at all, like to be digesting. But yeah, I really can't say anything good or bad. After the week and a half or so, the algorithm improved, and I basically see the same post I see on Instagram now, because my Instagram feed is pretty much giving me whatever I usually look at anyway. Um, the downside, obviously, is that you don't see anything new. You don't keep up with all your followers. It's you're just fed the same thing like you're on a hamster wheel. You know, um, and the percentage of what you see that's coming from the people you follow is very low, which doesn't make any sense to me. But that's how it's running so far. And then besides that, you get advertisements every few posts on Instagram, especially. So yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten any engagement on here, of course, because I only have a couple posts. Yeah, 3 posts, but it really doesn't move the needle for me. And then there is the posts that you have on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I can't say there's much for engagement. I have recognized that people do look at these, but they don't really engage with this. So it's here. It's not bad, but doesn't move the needle. I don't know. I mean, it tells people that you're still active, especially if you haven't posted a video in a while. So my last post was 8 days ago, which isn't bad considering the other ones are like a month old. But I'm on YouTube a lot anyway. Not on this particular, like my business account, but on my personal account, I'm on YouTube a lot. So, not bad, but there's improvements that I can make on here. I have gotten, I think, 4 new subscribers in the past few days. So welcome to you guys. I haven't posted a lot of videos lately, so I don't know. I've only been posting these still shots, like more than anything, lately. So I guess that's what they're paying attention to. Now, how much does the algorithm promote these organically? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the numbers of these yet, but it's there. And then last but not least, I have my Twitch channel, which is where I go live. And in terms of engagement, it just depends. I would have to stream live on a regular basis, have my schedule locked down, which I don't at this point. And I think I would get more followers that way. But this is basically, I will stream here and then I would post the streams on the YouTube channel and on Spotify as well. Is Spotify, I don't consider Spotify a, like a social media platform. But I do get, when I was posting more regularly, I do get quite a few views or, people coming in to listen. But I haven't posted much of anything lately. So if you look at this year, you can tell when I was posting more often. Do I have to move my camera out of the way? Hold on. Yeah, so you can tell when I was posting more often. But then I haven't posted in a while. I guess the last thing, I can go more analytics. Go all time. And there's the post there. Now on Spotify alone, it's just 25 streams. Down here, when you go to all platforms, because it also goes to Apple Podcasts and some other platforms as well. So those platforms have gotten more attention, especially all time, So there's that. But again, I would have to post, more consistently. Speaking of which, am I going to post more consistently? Yes. I just don't have my schedule down yet. And I think I will try to hammer that out next month in April in terms of getting my schedule, getting back on schedule in terms of posting regularly. Which brings me back to my original point of why I like Pinterest. I shared Pinterest with you guys probably a month ago now. and my monthly views was like 1.1 thousand per month. If I remember correctly, it was somewhere around there. And what I did while I was away is I started posting everything, like every last photograph that was on the website. I posted it here, and so there's a ton. So before, when I shared this with you guys, there really wasn't much on here, and now pretty much everything's on here almost. I did add 5 photographs to the gallery recently on the website, so I have to add those here as well. But other than that, everything else is here. And that's when the views, the engagement, all of that just took off. And yeah, it's been doing very well. So instead of 1.1 thousand views per month, it is still climbing. I'm up to 63,500 views a month, which eclipses all my other profiles, like social media profiles combined. Like, it's not even a contest. I don't have more followers. I don't think my followers have moved. But my engagement has gone up significantly. So this is for ads, which I haven't created any ads yet. This is all organic. And so I go to the pin side over here, and this is where I see, let's see, I move my camera out of the way again. Okay, so like 34 minutes ago, someone else saved this pin. Now this pin is one of the more popular ones. It might not be the most popular, but it's up there. Can I click on that directly? Okay, so it's got 19,390 impressions so far, 620 pin clicks, 35 saves. And this isn't even the one of the images I would promote for the Dark Light series, but people have really taken to it like very well. So, okay. What happens on Pinterest is the more engagement you get on a particular pin, the more impressions you get with it. So your impressions go up, and then you get more interaction, and then just a cycle just goes like that, you know. So you don't really know, or I don't know, what people are going to click on or save or heart. Like there's a little the heart button up here. Like I don't know what they're gonna respond to. So you really just post everything. And then some of them may have, like this one has 25 views. And then something like conversion has over 1,000 views or impressions. And then some of these go really crazy. This one has 1.3 thousand. Not this one, like this has 128. But I lost my place. This one has 2.2 thousand. There was one that was really crazy, and I can't put my finger on. I can't remember which one it was, but Revive, the one I just showed you guys, it was up there. But there's a few that it's just a lot. They've got a lot of impressions. So yeah, I don't have a strategy on the ratio or format of what works, what doesn't work. I would just say post everything, and wait and see um, what people are drawn to. Like this one I posted a long time ago, it has one view or one impression and nothing else. So I really don't know. And then obviously this is the business account. So when you come here, you're going to have your business hub. Now on my Shopify store, it was easy for me to get verified. Then when I switch web host, they are just refusing to restore my verification status with the little blue check mark. And that's not the blue check mark you pay for. You just have to pass their merchant status guidelines and whatnot. And I think the stuff on the back end with the website coding and everything, that's something that I can't do with the new web host. So with Shopify, it's still difficult, but it's easier to do it with them. Analytics, here's my top pins here. And then organic summary, 62.62, K is up 763%. Engagement 1.26 thousand. Is that over 1,000% up? Yeah, it's way up. So I'm gonna give this a few months before it starts to go back to normal, I guess. But and then the saves, 97 saves in the past 30 days is up 781%, which means really that my Pinterest profile wasn't getting much traffic at all. And so now it's getting a bunch of traffic within the last month. So the numbers are really spiking. Now, if I go into the analytics, this is where I run into issues where Pinterest software can't sync with my web host properly. So I'm not getting all the numbers that I'm supposed to get. And after going over some of the guides on my web host, I don't think there's a way for me to fix that. So yeah, in February, impressions about 1,500, and then it kept going. It spiked on the 27th at 5,000 impressions for Thursday, February 27th of this year, and it's starting to come back down to normal. But this is around the time when I started posting like a whole bunch of stuff, right? So that's Monday. This is Wednesday, March 19th. And then it's Sunday, March 23rd. So it's starting to come back down to normal in terms of how many impressions I'm getting per day. Now, if you want to keep your impressions going up, I would say keep posting. But to me, it's easier to post on Pinterest because it's not like Instagram, right? I can come on here, like if I have an hour extra, I can come on Pinterest and post like 20 photographs or post 20 things on here. And again, it's not going to have an initial bump up in engagement. Give it a few days, and then all of a sudden you'll start seeing the numbers start to tick up. And so that means for me, I don't have to post every day or every other day or every couple of days. I can just throw in a bunch of images once a week and let them run their course. and then come back the following week and do the same thing, you know? So I don't feel obligated like I do on the other platforms to constantly get on the platform and post something. And that's the other problem I ran into with my Instagram reels. Well, not the reels, but the stories. I mean, so with the stories, they only last for 24 hours. And then you're constantly posting something else to always have a story. And I don't always make time to do that. And then I did try some of the platforms that allow you to schedule your post. And then when I would schedule them and then they would post, but it felt like too often they didn't post correctly, or sometimes I post a video and it was fuzzy. It just, I don't know. It just wasn't working the way I was hoping it was going to work. And then, especially if you're posting on Instagram and X, you can post way more text on Instagram than you can on X, because of the X has such a limited amount of characters that you can have. So, yeah. So I'm probably going to have to try that again to have my posts scheduled on the platforms. But at this point, I'm thinking about getting rid of some of these platforms. I don't know, but part of me feels like I want to try them out first, especially Threads, to see how much engagement I get on there, and also post, like I said before, different types of, or present my work in different types of ways instead of just, showing the image here and giving a description over here. So there's that. Okay, so before I go, is one more thing I want to show you guys. Now you can track, or I can track my referrals. I just have to log into the website. Okay. All right. So my statistics are, there's usually a 2-day delay, something like that. Yeah, because right now this is from the 23rd, and that's all I got in terms of what's posted as statistics so far. Yes, I had a huge spike here, and I noticed that I did fix the descriptions on here, which helped bring in more visitors. And I also started adding some newer work. Well, not new work, just adding work from the archives that wasn't on here before. So I'm getting much better engagement on my website. But the views, they did spike for sure for like a couple of weeks, that you can see over here. So that's February, the beginning of March. This one is March 9th, and then it started coming down. This is March 16th. This is the 21st. So it's coming down to normal. But I also noticed that the price views are going up substantially, like noticeably going up. So this person from New York has been looking at the work for maybe about a week or so. So Washington, Houston, New York again. Well, that's me, New York. A lot of New York stuff. And this is going all the way back to the 10th of March. And then we got United Kingdom on the 9th, Virginia, United Kingdom again, Tennessee. Anything that's from Florida is usually myself. That's me checking on the prices. But then I figured out a way that I can check the prices without going directly into my own website. I can go through the background code, I guess, and check them. So I'm not going to get in my own way anymore in terms of price views. But then you look at the latest search engine visits. This is what I'm getting from Pinterest. So yesterday, I got 18 pages were viewed, and that came from Pinterest. So when they're on Pinterest and they click the visit site to see a particular photograph, it brings them to the site, and the site logs that as a referral. So yesterday I had 18. Let's see. Sunday was 25. Saturday was 35. Okay, the day before was 29. So yeah, and then 25 again. So, and then all of these are just other search engines: Bing, Google, search engine crawlers, Apple, Google at 194 on the 21st. Okay. So yeah, the more that you post, like on your Google business page, on the search page, the more Google's artificial intelligence or bots or whatever, it brings you up higher in the rankings, so that you're noticed more. And then you get more traffic that goes to your site. And like I said, when I pin something on the Google profile, there's a link on there that takes them to the photography as well. Or when people go on Google, they can go directly to the website from the search bar, or search results, I should say. Amazon bot, I did not know about that. Facebook. And then there's an images bot. Some of this stuff I'm not familiar with. Yandex, I know that's a search engine. But yeah, you just look for everything. And then these are the keyword searches that people are using. Hong Kong, Singapore, United States is very broad, but somebody here. This one's probably me, so I'm going to ignore that one. Hong Kong again, Mexico City, California. Okay. Yeah, so they're just looking for keywords. There's keywords under all of the photographs that potential buyers can use, and yeah, it allows them to see everything that's under that keyword, as I believe I've shared with you guys before. So there's that. But the main thing is, if you want organic engagement, Pinterest is really good. It's the best by far in terms of organic engagement for me. I have not purchased any marketing from Pinterest yet, but I do plan on doing that probably, if not in the summer, it'll be in the fall. So I'm really happy with the response on Pinterest so far. So what I'm going to do is post the latest stuff I have on here. Let's see. Latest work. Okay. So this one, Studio, Fall in Love. This is Hood. Sharp colors. I added another photograph to the Dream State series, which people seem to be responding to very well. So I'm going to add those to Pinterest and just keep going from there, really. Keep going from there. But in order for me to keep all these social media platforms active, like current, I'm definitely going to have to figure out the scheduling, how to schedule them and get them all to look right, even though they're on different platforms. I might be able to do that through Canva, but and then the thing is with Instagram too is that I like to have music clips on the post, and on the scheduled post it seems like I can't find how to access the music clips on there. So I'm gonna have to do a little digging and figure all this stuff out. Figure all this stuff out. But generally, the only thing that I do is I come on here and I just go under organic, create pin, and then drag and drop here. Fill out all the information, link it to the website here. There's a spot for tags, or Pinterest's version of keywords, but they call it tags. And you can have up to 10 tags per post. I think they max out at 10. So I already have a list that I go through of possible tags that I can have on my work, and just to make the process faster for me. And then I just go with the detailed description. I just use whatever's on the website, and then also add the title up here. And that's it. And of course, under the saved tab, everything is organized. Architecture, automobiles, books, landscape, so on. Everything's organized. And obviously my writing down here, I have to add a lot more of that in terms of promotion. So I think going the end of the summer, going into the fall this year, that's when I'll really be able to lock in. I would say July, August, I will start and lock in on marketing a lot more than what I'm doing right now. Right now, as I explained in the last episode, my focus has just been elsewhere. And once July gets here, I will really go into not just organic engagement, but looking at what I can put together to advertise and see how that works. Now, since Pinterest has been really good with the organic engagement, I feel like I owe it to them kind of to invest back into the company by buying marketing ads or marketing space. So I'll look over what's running on their homepage right now and look at, what people are interacting with. They always send me emails about trends, things like that. So they've been really helpful in terms of sending me information on how to make my work even, stand out even more. So there's that. But yeah, so I would just suggest, if you're gonna spend money on social media advertising, I would definitely suggest Pinterest, because especially anything that's under Meta, I feel like you're just spending more into their company, and you're not getting as much out of it, if anything. So I'm very weary on going back into social media marketing through them again. And I was going to look for one more thing that just popped into my mind, but now I just forgot it. Let me see if I can. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Check my email and see if I can pull this up. Because they did email me recently. Oh, it's not coming up. I just saw it. Okay, here we go. I found it. All right. So this is from the 16th of this month. They just sent me an update. And that's pretty much when it was confirmed that my pins are getting a lot more attention on here. So yeah, I was really happy with the numbers. I just don't know why this particular one is the best out of that series. It's not even in my top 5 in that series, in the Dark Light series. And people are just, they're just either saving it or visiting it, or it's like, I don't know. I'm not mad. I'm just saying I don't understand. Like, if I understand what draws people to a certain post, I can replicate that. So like the one in the middle, I get that one because this is like one of my favorites, right? This one, not so much, but it's unique to me. The first one, like this one, is like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not upset about it. I'm wondering, like, what's making that one stand out? Because then I'm also looking at the end of the year, and I'm looking at the end of the year and wondering, what am I gonna make next? Like what am I gonna create? So I'm looking at what people are paying attention to and figuring, okay, this is a direction that I can take my work. But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna try to post more, because I've been, like I said, super busy lately. And next month in April, I need to come up with a schedule on when I'm going to be live, what I'm going to post on social media, what I'm going to post on YouTube. And like I said, it'll be July, August probably when I go back into trying to market the work. But I do have my samples for the business card are in. I'm going to try to pick a good paper for them. And I do like some of the shiny, whatever the shiny material they put on here for the lettering. It's fancy. But because I want to upgrade the material and the paper, these cards are going to be on the expensive side. So, especially if you get, like, this is probably one of my favorites. It feels really nice. It's got the shine on the letters, but I don't like the font. The font is too thick and boring. So I'm like, can I incorporate that with my brand style? I think I have an idea, but I have to ask them if it's going to work. And how much is that going to be? It's going to cost me, but they're going to look really good. But that particular batch, like, I'm not just gonna order 200 of these and start giving them out like candy. These are probably gonna be 50 um, business cards with this really nice material. And then when I'm presenting my portfolio to whether it's a design agency or interior design consultants, that type of thing, they can get the fancy cards. I'm going to make another business card, like 250 or so, and that can go to the mail outs just for everybody. But I do think that I want both versions to match. Yeah, I want them to be really the same, but the quality of the paper and all of that is going to be different. But I think the design is going to be the same thing. But yeah, they have all this stuff. So they have the bottles with the logo, all of that. And I'm like, wow, that'd be really good. That'd be really good. So that's going to be the end of this particular podcast. I'm going to turn this into a clip on Twitch. So if you wasn't able to watch it live, you'll be able to see the entire thing on YouTube. And then I did get an email or notification from Twitch that they're cracking down on how long my highlights can be. So those are probably going to get deleted, and I'm just going to keep those over on YouTube because most of the time my podcasts are like an hour long at least. So Twitch is saying that they don't want to have that long of a clip saved on their servers, which is understandable because they have all these streamers. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this episode. And if you want to stick around on the live stream, I will stay to answer anyone's questions and talk to you guys before I go. But for this episode, that's the end. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Okay, so that's the clip for the podcast. I'm going to go ahead and put that on YouTube, Spotify, and if I have time, I'll make shorter clips for Twitch. But definitely the whole episode is going to be on YouTube and Spotify. And then when I load it to Spotify, Spotify is linked to Apple Podcasts and other podcast platforms, so that just links to them automatically. I think it takes a few hours longer to update, but they'll be there. Okay, so BC Connolly. I do not have any classes for sure, but I appreciate the compliment. I was looking at the dot card, not yesterday, but over the weekend. I was looking at it and saw that it was $50. And I think if I go in that direction, I want it to be white to match the brand color. But yeah, that's a good, especially if you're at an art fair. That would be good to have if you run into somebody in the store. That'd be good to have, because a lot of times, like, people get cards all the time, business cards all the time, and so they don't want to have all these cards to keep. so they can just get the QR code off of the dot card and have all your information with all your links and stuff. So it's a really good idea. And like I said before, my goal for the first 2 quarters of this year is to pay off the rest of my my debt. So I'm about 3 months away from that. And as I said on the last podcast episode, I have 7 accounts left, or I had 7 accounts left at the beginning of this month to pay off. And so once I pay off the one on Monday, I'm only going to have 3 accounts left to pay off. So I'm happy that I'm moving in the right direction in that way. But point being, after those are paid off, I'm going to have extra funds to invest back into the business. And yeah, I definitely have to start making new work for sure. And I have been trying to upgrade the website a little bit more. But I think more than anything, I'm just adding new work. So the stuff that's new, I'm going to add these to Pinterest before I turn in tonight and see how it goes. But I have more stuff coming. And speaking of automobiles, I did begin working on this particular series that I almost completely forgot about. It is a bit dated, but I'm going to see how people respond to them. We'll see how it goes. But there is just a lot of stuff I was looking over this weekend in terms of, just folders of photographs, trying to get rid of images that I know I'm not going to use, make space for new stuff. But yeah, there's just a lot of images I didn't remember that I had. And so now, since the website is completely automated with the print order processing, I don't have to micromanage the inventory, which means that I can add a lot more prints on here without worrying about burning myself out with trying to keep up with the pricing on the inventory and all that type stuff. So that's good. That's a good thing. All right, so it's already after 9:30. So does anyone have any more questions or comments before I go? So just to give a brief description of what the last podcast was about, I'm going to put my focus on Pinterest because I just don't have time. I just got a promotion on my day job, so it's just a lot more information I'm taking in right now. There's new software I have to learn, and right now we're just going through the introduction to the company, how the company functions, the terminology, the software that we're going to start using or switching to. So I came home with a headache today because it was just, I mean, the one of the meetings was just 3 hours. And so I got to do that again tomorrow. And then there's another one on Thursday. So once I get through the next 2 days, I'm gonna crash a little bit, but I don't have to go into the office for the rest of the week, so that's good. I can work from home, which means I'm definitely gonna sleep in a little bit longer in the morning, and just get that 3 hour session, the 3 hour meeting out of the way, and then try to, I don't want to say coast for the rest of the day, but let my brain kind of recuperate. But as I said, I did get a raise, pretty significant one, and so this time next year, I'm definitely going to be in a different. I don't know if I'll be able to get us a dedicated studio space. I will see how it goes because I'm pricing the apartments in the area, and one place in particular, for some odd reason, the 2 bedroom is cheaper than some of the one bedrooms around here. So I need to investigate to see what's going on with that one. I'm not sure if it's because of the square space or what. But if I go in that direction, then all my lighting, my prints back here, furniture, I want to do the whole thing to where that's just my dedicated studio space. So I don't have to set up, tear down, set up, tear down, set up, tear down. And I can have more lights in there without worrying about the place looking weird to other people when they visit. So there's that. The thing I didn't anticipate is my car's electrical system is acting really buggy the past few months. But since I got a promotion earlier this month, I'm going to be working from home like 90% of the time for the foreseeable future. And so my day job, I'm not going to have to drive, use the car that much. But I do have to drive on the weekends, and I definitely have to drive when I want to photograph on location. So I'm going to have to upgrade the car eventually. So I'm trying to balance between how much more space can I afford here? Well, not here, but when I move. And what am I going to do with my car? Because I'm not going to put more into it in terms of fixing anything, right? So yeah, there's that. And then I'm looking at let's see. I feel like because I fixed the descriptions on here, I'm getting a lot more people are looking at what they can buy more, because now I fix the description to where the pricing on one of the products is on directly on the page, so they don't have to jump through 2 more pages to get to the price or see what the price range is. So now they're looking through everything and wondering like, okay, how much is this going to cost? So I can see all of that on the analytics end on my website, like what they're looking at, what they're pricing, if they're saving images in a light box to look at like a shopping list sort of thing. So I'm looking at all of that. So the past couple of weeks, all of that has gone way up in terms of people's interest in buying something, which means that the changes that I made over the past few weeks are long overdue. It's just something that I overlooked when I was switching everything from Shopify to the new web host. yeah, that was like a major detail I just overlooked. So everything has been going really well on that end. I just have to know in terms of pricing, making sure my price ranges are good. And I guess on the higher tier photographs, looking at trying to create discount codes if necessary, especially during the holidays. And I think that'll help with sales as well. But at this point, it's just continuing to add things. Yeah, so that's all I have. Feel free to go to the YouTube channel. You can find me on Spotify, not Shopify. Spotify. You can find me on Spotify, the podcast. And like I said, that also gets linked or in sync with Apple Podcasts and the other podcast platforms. Next month, I'll definitely try to come up with a schedule for all of that. And just keep everyone up to speed on anything new that's being added to the website. Because I've already created my notes for what's going to get added on here. And then the other thing is I already put aside another camera to replace a DSLR for the live feed. And I already upgraded the lights, the LED lights in here. And I'm probably going to update or upgrade my Mac Mini to get more memory because the RAM is kind of running low when I'm working on these bigger photographs now. So there's that. But again, I'm going to pay off the debt first. So I'm going to start with a clean slate. I'm going to move out of here. I'm probably going to upgrade the car. And then I'm probably going to get much more into the marketing for the business. So it's going to be a very interesting year. But like I said, that's going to be going into the third quarter when that gets started. So like I said, the first 2 quarters of this year, just grind a little bit and get these things done. But yeah, so I've been quiet on social media. I'm still working. I'm still working on all these details. And the pricing profiles, I'm finally finished with all of those, thank God. And so all that stuff is ready. The tiers, I re-tiered all the photographs and, repriced some of them that needed to have that done. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to see you guys probably next week. I will do my best to come back within a week and either give an update or if I learn something new, share that. But definitely just let you guys know that I'm still working on everything. So everybody have a good night. I appreciate you stopping in. Take care. God bless.